Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, there's our girls. There's the other one. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Positive Parenthood Story Time. We are going to sing our good morning song.
And
are you
who
ready?
Are you? My name is Sam. Sienna over there. Luna. And Mika over there.
Whoa, they're way back there. Okay, I'm Chelsea. Let's sing good morning.
Is everybody ready? Come on.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you? We are well, thank you. We are well, thank you. Playing at home. Playing at home.
Now in Spanish.
Buenos días, buenos días. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Muy bien, gracias, muy bien, gracias. Jugando en casa, jugando en casa. Wonderful singing on this cloudy Wednesday morning. You know what? Luna and Sienna are sitting on the couches because they have a really special two or three really special friends sitting with them. Do you want to see the kittens? No. Bring them up, Luna and Sienna. Can you bring them forward, babies? Bring them forward. Here they come. Say hello, kittens. Hey. Do you want to show us yours too, Sienna?
This kitty has a sneezies.
This kitten is a little sneezy this morning. Hello, kitten.
He was sneezing yesterday too.
What a beautiful.
What? So they'll join us in a minute. Okay, let's sing our good morning birdie song. Are you ready, Sam?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Get your birds out.
Yes.
Wait. We're doing our
That
bird
one?
song
Oh,
first.
the other
So
one.
to do our bird, we cross our thumbs and our birds are gonna fly.
Girls.
Hey, kitten girls, can we see your birds?
Okay, but this will make the kids go sleep in a little bed.
Okay, maybe you could
Everybody
go
with
Sam,
the
so
birds.
you're not right behind me. Okay, you guys ready?
Birds.
Way up in the sky, the little birds fly, while down in the nest, the baby birds rest, with the wing on the right and a wing on the left. Good morning, the little birds sing. Wonderful singing. So yesterday we talked all about our noses. We wiggled our noses like bunnies. Can you wiggle your noses like bunnies? Maybe we smelled and painted with some tea bags. Maybe you smelled your parents'
Tea bags, Mama.
coffee. We haven't done our tea bags yet. Right, you're right about that. And you know what we did? Where did we go yesterday, girls?
The beach.
We went to the beach and there's all kinds of smells
And we made
at the
a
beach.
sandcastle for 2 ladybugs, a king and a queen.
Yes, they found some ladybugs at the beach and you know what it smelled like? How did it smell, girls?
Good.
Did it smell salty?
Yes.
And did it smell a little fishy?
No.
No? What? Maybe there was no fish living at that beach. I don't know. I think there was definitely some fish. Well, we worked on smell, and you know what today is? Today is about hearing. Do you see my big, giant, pink ears? What? Here they are. Oh, the better to hear with. I can hear all the things. Oh, Mika just went to get another kitten who must have escaped. So in a second, we're gonna talk about hearing. But before we do that, I have a book for you, and it was gonna be a book about a bear who plays the piano. But then Luna and Sienna really decided they wanted to hear a book called Leave Me Alone. Has anyone ever read this book? Raise your hand if you ever want to be left alone.
Now that's 3 games with 3 kittens.
What? 3 girls, 3 kittens? Have a look. Wow, 3 girls, 3 kittens. Okay, let's get Leave Me Alone out. Are you ready to hear the story?
Chelsea, but before, today is...
Oh, I forgot. Today is Wednesday. Hey, Sam.
Today is Wednesday.
Yesterday was Tuesday.
But today is Wednesday. And tomorrow is
going to be Thursday. Woo! Okay, now I think we're ready for the book.
Mama, wait for me because she went to get the kids'
Okay. Okay.
Oh, we forgot
Oh my
Spanish.
goodness, we forgot to sing it in
Spanish.
Spanish. Miércoles,
Ayer
fue martes,
pero hoy es
miércoles
y mañana
va a ser jueves. Okay, so we're gonna read Leave Me Alone by Vera Brosgol. Look at that grandma. It's her story. She looks kind of mad. Okay, let's get a little closer. Here we go. Leave me alone. Okay.
Come on this side. Make us scooch that way.
Okay. Once there was an old woman. She lived in a small village in a very small house. Do you see her? There she is, sitting there in her rocker. Shh. Could you open the dryer so it stops beeping? With a very big family. Look at this family. There's so many people in the house. Winter was coming, and that meant she had some very important knitting to do. But the knitting wasn't getting done. Her grandchildren were very curious about her knitting. Were you supposed to hit up the ball with a stick? Could you eat it? Could you make your brother eat it? Why did the ball get smaller and smaller when you chased it? The old woman was at the end of her rope. So she made her bed as neatly as she could, and she swept the floorboards until they were more or less shining. She drank tea from her samovar, and she packed up her things in a big sack. Sam, and as she left, she shouted back, "Leave me alone!" And look, everybody heard her. Everybody in the town heard her. The old woman walked through the deep, dark forest, and she made a fire so that she could see what she was doing. And then she sat down and began to knit. The bear family was very curious about the light from her fire and about what it might taste like. "Leave me alone," shouted the old woman, but they didn't listen because bears don't speak English.
They speak bear.
We think they speak bear. So she picked up her sack and she left.
I said, "Where's your key?"
Okay. The old woman climbed up the mountainside. It was so cold, so she found herself a small and sheltered place, and she sat down and she began to knit. Uh-oh. The mountain goats were excited to have a visitor, especially one that brought snacks. Look, they were eating the yarn. They thought the yarn was a snack. "Leave me alone," the old woman shouted. But the goats were too busy fighting over the red yarn, which they all agreed tasted the best. So she picked up her sack and she left. The old woman climbed higher and higher up the mountain, and she reached the top and climbed onto the moon. She found a rock that was shaped like a chair, and she sat down and she began to knit. Uh-oh. The little moon men had never seen a woman rest before, old or otherwise. They examined her with handheld scanners that went beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Oh dear. And she shouted, "Leave me alone!" But the little green moon men couldn't hear her because they didn't have any ears. What? So she picked up her sack and left through a wormhole. The void on the other side of the wormhole was very dark and very, very quiet. She was absolutely, completely, and utterly alone. Soon she had no more yarn and 30 little sweaters, and she was alone. Look, there she is knitting in the dark. So she put the 30 little sweaters into her big sack, and she swept the void until it was a nice matte black. She had a cup of tea from her samovar, and she picked up the sack and left through another wormhole. When she came out on the other side, everything was right where she left it. Look, she's back home. And she didn't say a word. Look at all of those children getting all of the sweaters. Wow, so many kids with sweaters. The end. Wow, so that was a grandma that really wanted some quiet, which is interesting because today we're not talking about sound, but we're talking about, what are we talking about today, sound? Oh, we are talking about sound today, silly me. She wanted some quiet and she had to go up into space in order to get that quiet. Could you help me get this on my other hand? And I have a friend here. Hi guys, remember me? I'm Pearl, and I have a friend who has really big nose. No, put him on my arm. He has a really big nose. Now put that on top of him. Do you want to guess what kind of animal I might have? So it's all the way covering. Who can guess? Luna, do you have a guess?
Me.
Sienna, can you come up here and tell us your guess? Bring your kitten.
Okay.
Here she comes. This is my friend. What could it be? Sienna, come on up. Can you help pick it up here? Come on, baby. Okay, Sienna, what do you think is underneath here?
An elephant.
What? How did you know?
I don't know.
Could you pull the blue off? Woo! Yes, hello, friends. I am an elephant, and I have a really